Welcome back to the missing details modeling bench. So we're just going to paint a bit more of the interior detail. So I've got the Abteilung dust colour here. I'm gonna use that to represent the canvas of the harness belts. I've got two to paint actually. There's also like a tan coloured, I want to say like a hip pad or something. I do have this drawing, but so these hip pads here doesn't really show them any different colour, but I think they need to be, or at least the pre-painted Edward ones are slightly different colour, so we'll go with that. And it will help define some of the parts that are in there, so we need a bit of a orangey sort of tan, so sand brown, that will do. Okay, so again, clean paintbrush for clean up, if it goes slightly adrift, that way we can keep it nice and sharp. We've actually got the because I hadn't fitted the harnesses to the Special Hobby E BF109E seat, so I had to backstep and fit them. So they need painting. You notice that the seat in the E is old MO2, and then the seat in the K, yeah, slight variation in the size of the 1 cm2 scale seat, but that wouldn't be for the first time. Okay, so like I said, clean paintbrush in case we go adrift. So clean thinners. So normally I have a dirty one and then a clean one, and only the clean-up brush goes in the clean one. At least that's what I tried to do. Okay, so just moisten the tip. Mix the paint up into the consistency of single oat cream rather than single oat, or rather than oat whipped cream. Still a bit thick. Perfect. Right. So as you can see, there's a hell of a lot going on down there. If we can pick some of it out, it will really make it pop. So I'm planning my movements here in that I'm trying to do the stuff that's deepest down first, so I'm not likely to touch that whilst doing the stuff on top. Can I see that on the other side? I can't really see another part of that. Let's just make sure the edges. Yeah, imagine this all in pale, kind of like hemp colours, and you come in there with a wash. It's gonna look really good. Right, so just checking there where this buckle because it's going to be hard to see this. Where this buckle, you can see through the buckle. Just making sure it's painted underneath, behind it. Okay, so I can see that I've kind of already just gone a little awry. Just get this edge squared up. There we go. Like I say, that there's going to be a wash on there, so we don't always have to go right to the edge because there's a small area that's going to be filled with dark wash. Okay, already is looking better. I think that's all that for the hip pads. These are actually a set of AML. There's a little photo etch for that little detail set for my AML. Which I gotta say, that's some weird folding over to make these, to make the what we call it, to make the buckles fatter. Apart from the weird folding over the parts, I'm quite impressed with them. Now I'm putting paint on them, I can. They're actually starting to look their best. Again, we can be as messy as we want in terms of what's sat on top of the item. We're painting the lowest parts first. And these hip pads have actually got a real texture on, so they might have been better painted a little bit lighter. So we'll wash them, they're going to look brilliant. And getting in there is going to be tricky. Might be a case we just almost just dab the end of the paintbrush. Don't know if you can see. So I'm not sure. I'm just dabbing down to hit the part that I know is raised. I need a photo etch hip pad to try and stay off of the actual C itself. Okay, that's the hip pads done. So by hip pads I mean these things here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they go over the hips. Right, now for the harness itself. Just mix this down so it's more of a cream consistency than a paste. Back to the 109E seat. So here again we're trying to only hit the thing that's on top. If you can see this. I just need to paint a little bit thicker. Sometimes it depends with the oils as to how much oil is in it. I don't mean, cause for leaching out the oil on a piece of card. I kind of mean just almost where it is in the tube. Is it, is it a bit of the paint in the tube that's actually got a lot of oil in it? Find that sometimes the way tops, the oil rises to the top, and okay. So with the buckles, where's the buckle? We've got a buckle here. We need to make sure that we paint inside there, just to show the buckle coming. And I think there's then like a metal. It's really quite intricate. These AML. I'm not sure they even make. Well, probably not made them in years. There's so many parts that are metal and so many parts. Like in here, we can see this metal part here. That's all harness. So now I want to get the ones again. If we're feeling a little bit like it's tricky to hit the strap, we can just dab the brush multiple times on the raised detail, which in that case is the harness we're trying to hit. Get inside the buckle. What I've seen. There's another one. There we go. Thought I'd seen some debris. So getting inside that buckle will just give it that strapped look, It looks like it's passing through an actual metal buckle. Just a bit careful here that we only hit not the top of the seat. Oh, the top of that aperture. A nice bit of paint on top of that. There's actually a little, so case in point, there's actually a tiny little nugget of debris just in that harness. If I can just feel the edge, yeah. So he's come off, so that was worth doing. You can never be sure with things when it's all stuck to one another. If you push on something, what's the first bit of glue is going to give? So here it's quite flat against the seat. So I'm just going to multiple touches down. They've gone off. Yeah, got a little bit wayward there. I achieved what I wanted to do, but I just having to hit the other side. So a little bit of clean thinners, take off the excess with your fingers. And because it's lacquer paint underneath, that will just clean up beautifully. There we go. the E done. Now the K. Right. So one of the main things we're going to see on this is this edge of the fetter etch. So that needs to just make sure that is painted, and it will just look so much better for it. Yeah, it's quite easy to get lost as to what is strap and what's not. It's kind of like a raised part of strap on top of the strap that's on top of the hip pad, so yeah, it's a bit easy to get lost. And same again here. Try and get it inside the buckles. It's quite stark when you get inside the buckles, but when you get when you paint the metal steel and then a bit of wash, it really make it look good. So that was really quite hard to see, but I think we're getting there. We got another little bit of debris just inside the buckle there. Don't know if it's super glue or what. Again, we don't too much force because we don't want to unstick the seat, which is moving a little bit there. That's actually looking like a fault in the photo etch. So it's a shame couldn't pick it up before, but let's just try and paint it out. Oh. So that's what I didn't want to happen. But now it's happened, we can. Oh, sorry about that. So now it's happened, we can take steps to tackle it. So okay. Right, we'll have to find that seatbelt.